want that. They want that interest. They can't afford to give you interest. That's if if I did that to somebody, you know what they would charge me with? Extortion.
Yeah, you go to jail for that. I mean, here they are, right? They float on your money, right? And some people, like one of my children, got a refund last year of $8,000. How much interest would that have been per a year? The government, didn't pay no interest to his refund.
No.
He was happy to get his $8,000, but wouldn't it have been nicer to get interest on it? I mean, that's I don't understand the system. Again, if it's the other way around, you'd be paying. Why don't the IRS pay a penalty then too? Because they didn't pay you your interest.
Oh yeah, if it was the other way around, I'd be charged with extortion, loan sharking, and probably hit the RICO Act. That's all.
I know. And then I don't want to get political, but this other things really. Excuse me, I had a belch here. Just normally when I do that on my show, I got this.
That's it.
I got this button right here. I can push, and you don't hear it. Or the same way, if I blow a fart, I can push this button right here. You don't hear it. But or if you say the wrong word, I got another thing over here in my server rack. With equipment, it's a delay because my show is delayed by like about 10 seconds because if somebody says the word fuck, it is automatically taken out. But, but what gets me is like people on Social Security, they're trying to pass bills right now to bump it up to 70 years old for you can get your full retirement.
70 years old, the greeters at Walmart's going to be 90 if they do that.
Well,
Jesus, come on.
But look at statistics. Males, how many of them die between 68 and like 71 or 72?
Right. That's the whole point. That's just like if you got a case where you're trying to sue a big corporation or something, they'll delay it for years hoping you'll die before they ever have to pay you. Right. Same principle.
Well, maybe they're thinking, well, if we move the age up, right? Well, you'll get more money, right? Because you pay more into it. But on the other hand, they know you're not going to collect all of it or near any of it because you're going to die. So that maybe will keep Social Security going a few more years. I mean, come on, there's got to be logic behind this. But it seems like, I like the idea, being retired at 65 and or, if you want to work past that, that's up to you because the longer you work, the more money you're going to get each month. But the standpoint of, pushing it up to 70, then what's going to happen a few years later? Oh, we got to go to 72. I mean, come on. What's going on here?
That kind of reminds me when I was in high school. When I was 18, you was allowed to buy alcohol and drink, and then they changed it to 19. Then I got 19. Then they changed it to 21. They just keep extending the age till you can enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Well, gee, you know what? I should get with my Social Security each month, I should get a free prescription paid for Geritol.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, well, I don't know, or whatever. But, the other thing, I gotten a lot of flack. Today I'm just venting, okay? I got a lot of flack from people because, I do think we need to do something at the border, okay? Using troops at the border, I don't think was a smart move, number one. Two is, do we need fences or a barrier? Which one's cheaper? Now, let's face it, I hate to say it, the drug cartel out of Mexico, right, are very good at making long tunnels, with even air conditioning and lighting, and even some of them nice enough where you could drive a car through it, They're
very good paying off police department stuff, too. But let me ask you this. I want to know, let's just take the last 5 years. Now, there's been a lot of drugs confiscated or a lot of money confiscated. Why couldn't they take that money, that's drug money, and put that toward the Waffle House? Where's that money going? That's what I want to know because I haven't seen any of it. Maybe I should charge them a little bit and give them a refund on it.
I don't know. It kind of, okay, here's the point I'm making, right? So here we can want our president, which I voted for him, okay? I'll admit I voted for Trump. There wasn't, of course, much choice this last election. But I voted for Trump, okay? Because make America great again, create jobs. Well, that's the type of jobs that's been created is not what it was implied it would be. But what really astounds me, and I mentioned this a couple times in the past couple of weeks, our grid system. He's worried about crime coming over the border. Am I right, James?
Yeah, crime, all kinds of bad
murderers, crime, drug pushers and all that stuff, that should be hung. But anyway, he's, that's what he's been saying, right? Now, for 3.5 billion or whatever it is, 3.6 billion, we could fix up our grid system. So eventually, come on, we're playing Russian roulette here, or the lotto. One of these days, we're going to get hit with an EMT or we're going to get hit with a major flare, and our grid system is going to go down. It's like a Christmas tree bulb, those old ones, you pull one out and the whole light chain goes out.
Yeah.
That's
not a if, that's a when.
Yeah. And, there's been senators in Congress that try passing it, and bring it up. But you know what? The money is more important for the military, is more important for this, more important for that. But, okay, we're talking about crime coming over the border. Am I right? Now, we get a hit with a flare or EMT, right? And our grid system's down. It ain't going to be down. I had to suffer with no internet for a week, okay? And my power going off on and on for a week. I know what it was like to go to the grocery store because we had like 2.5 feet of snow. The grocery stores within the first 2 hours were sold out of almost all the meat, almost all the bread except wheat bread. People must not like wheat bread. That's healthy for you guys. But, even the only thing that was left was a lot of soda. I mean, people stocked up on bottled water, frozen food. Well, not even frozen food, canned foods. All that stuff was just like cleaned out of the main stores up here. Now, think about this, people. If our grid system does go down, you think it's going to be up in a week, 2 weeks, a month? Now, well, here's what's going to happen. Our grid system goes down, right? Now, we have all these hospitals, right? They have enough diesel to run a certain amount of days before their generators suck it all up. Now, the refineries can't pump out more diesel because nothing is working, electrically. Okay?
Right.
Now, the generators stop in the hospitals. Now, what happens to the people in the hospital that are on life support or need intensive care? What's going to happen to those people?
Well, I got to tell you something. I think that's a whole show. That's almost a conspiracy show because I do believe there is a conspiracy that the government or somebody in the government, they kind of want this to happen to control population because, let's face it, 3 years of that and you're going to have basically a zombie apocalypse. People's going to be robbing people and killing people.
James, no, think about this. Let's take the next step, right? Now, people are dying off in the hospital, right? Mm-hmm. Now, the next thing is going to happen, the reactors, right, that have diesel backup, they start running dry. Now, and when they start running dry, what's all the employees going to do at that reactor? They're going to be gone, man. They ain't going to hang around there because they know it's going to have a major meltdown.
Right.
Okay, so now, okay, you got people dying off in the hospitals. You got people now, reactors going down, okay? And because regardless that they can't pump out any electricity to the grid, they got to keep running to keep the cooling system, going. Otherwise, it'll have a meltdown.
And those westerly winds, anything on the west coast, it's gonna that radiation will be in the air and it'll spread all across the U.S. and people gonna be falling off of them and all kind of craziness.
Yeah, and then you're gonna see cancer, people dying from all. But that's not the only other issue. Okay, now no food can get to the grocery stores because the cars, trucks aren't going to start because the EMT. That's not going to work, right? They can't get fuel in their tanks because they can't pump it out. They can't refine it. Okay, so you figure after how many days of, the first day, like I said, and that's my point. When we had our snowstorm here at the harbor, the grocery stores, Safeway, Albertsons, all the main stores the first hour or two were sold out of virtually everything. Is that stuff you wouldn't want to eat, like dog food. And maybe that might even, be good to stock up on. But, hey, what are you having for breakfast? Dog food. What are you having for lunch? Dog food. What are you having for dinner? Dog food. But
Alpo meatloaf.
Yeah, and then you can get cancer from that real fast. But I'll tell you.
And the real people that will be prepared for it will be the Amish. They're all set.
Nicole, you pointed out you have an old car, okay? And yes, the old car without the electronic ignition system, without the computer, okay, will most likely start. If you might have a coil problem, but you can get it probably running. Okay, I agree with that one. But what are you going to do for gas when you run it out? And do you know, like The Walking Dead, one thing I laugh my head off, right? They're still driving vehicles after a couple years. Have you ever had a car sit for a year or so with gas in it, and when you go start it, it barely runs?
Yeah. Gas don't keep very long.
No, it loses its octane. And diesel goes the other way. It turns into a gel.
Yeah, it turns into gel, and the gas turns into its. You can smell it. I forget what it smells like, but it loses all its spunk, and it's basically dead. It won't even light hardly. It's no good.
No, like in the winter, because I used to ride my motorcycle in the winter. I don't no more because I don't want to damage it. But I'll tell you this, that I have to put stuff in the gas tank to keep the gas from going stale. And if I didn't do that, one year I had a Honda, for example. I let it sit all winter, right? And when I went to start it, it wouldn't run, or at least hardly could run. And then, when I started looking and draining the tank out, I was getting goop out of it instead of gas. Now, so what I'm getting the point is, after a couple weeks or a couple months, you're not going to have anything. It's drivable. Now, here's what's going to happen, right? The grocery stores, if they run out of food because of a snowstorm, okay, the warehouses can't deliver after a certain point. Then at a certain point, the companies who make the dog food, what you're going to be eating, or the frozen foods, it's not going to happen, or whatever, right? They can't transport it. They can't manufacture it. They can't process it. Now, you're lucky, right? You got a generator running at your house. Right? Because you were smart. You got like a month's worth of gas. So you turn your generator on ever so often, right? To keep your refrigerator cool, or to do a little cooking or whatever, have lights on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're worried about these people coming over the border who are criminals, right? But here's people now that have families, okay, or themselves, right? They're hungry. They can't find food because there's no food in the grocery stores anymore, right? Now, They hear a generator running. Oh, gee, that guy has a generator. That means he's got food. I'll tell you what, it won't take long for society to start breaking down. Do you think that the police force and all this stuff is going to be there to help you? They ain't going to be there, because what are they going to do, walk to your house?
Yeah, right. And everybody will be losing their jobs. Money won't mean nothing. Water will be currency. What it will be.
And like Eric Cooper says, we need fuel, but you know what? You better have guns, and you better have a lot of ammo, because you know what? I remember Mad Max. Like what happened after society collapsed and how things went bizarre. I can honestly tell you. A month without electricity, your friendly neighbor isn't going to be friendly anymore if you got food and they don't. Things that we have to worry about, the society is going to start falling apart. Crime is going to go crazy. There's going to be murders. There's going to be a lot of rapes. There's going to be a lot of vandalism. There's going to be whatever. People, doing what savage things we never thought they would do. And you know what? We don't want to put the money in the grid system to make that where it doesn't happen. But we want to spend $5.6 billion on the wall. What as hell is going on in this country right now?
I'm telling you, there's a conspiracy for population control, because why else would... listen, it's all facts, what you just said. It's going to be mayhem and misery, for sure. If we're going to be back to put back in the 1800s, and people today aren't prepared for that. That's